Hello, everyone. I'm Judge Penny Wolfgang. Buffalo Bills Hall of Fame legend Jim Kelly continues to help children in our hometown through his Kelly for Kids charity. We'll take you to a special event to celebrate that effort. Then, what plans does Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown have for the city if another blizzard hits? We'll find out. The miraculous medical effort that saved the life of Buffalo Bill Damar Hamlin is CPR. Watch for our inspirational message that encourages you to learn about how to administer it. Right here, right now, on The Big Picture. Welcome to the program. Jim Kelly is a beloved member of our community, from his Super Bowl playing days to the work he and his family continue to do for children and charity. Jim personifies what it means to be a winner. For many years, I've been honored to serve on the board of directors for Jim's Kelly for Kids Foundation. The organization recently held a luncheon event where monies were distributed to help others in our hometown. Jim, I want to have an opportunity just to briefly talk about the mission of Kelly for Kids, how it started and how much you have done for the community, and we have done, I guess, because I'm happy to say, honored to say that I've been a member of the board all this time, how much we have contributed to the children in this community.
Well, it's number one, it's amazing. Number two, when I was blessed enough to make it to the NFL, I remember my father many years ago talking about, giving back, always want to give back to the people who are less fortunate. My family was one of those families back in the day where we didn't have much. I mean, we had our gloves in the wintertime were socks. We had shoes, had big holes in the bottom. So we knew what it was like to have to struggle. And I said if I ever made it, I would, number one, take care of my family. And number two is help others that don't get all the recognition or, more importantly, the money that they need to be a difference maker. Not knowing when I came to Buffalo in 1986, very shortly after that, we started the Kelly for Kids Foundation. And then not really knowing that down the road, I'd be helping my own son's foundation. And as most people know, being from Western New York, Hunter's Hope. So this has been something that has grown, and we used to not do the luncheon, but too many people didn't know about other foundations. And we give a number of groups time to come up on stage and tell a little bit about their foundation so people around here know what they're doing. And just the bottom line is being a difference maker. And as we all know with Damar's thing that just happened last week, we all realized that how big the city of Buffalo, the region of Buffalo, this whole community cares about kids and being a difference maker.
Do you know, I'm sure you do, how many groups you have influenced and how many people apply and how many people you have helped as far as over the years that you've had this foundation?
You know what, Penny, and you know this. You're only as good as the people around you. I have a staff that has been unbelievable for so many years. Tricia, Ashley, Dennis. I have been blessed, and also blessed to have the board members I have like you that care about the kids and understand that, $5,000, what that goes to and how it makes such a huge difference in this community. I think today we're giving between 35 and 40 organizations money today. And it all ranges, the amount of money we give, whether it's $20,000, whether it's $2,500. And also we give Hunter Soap some, which is huge because, again, that's my son's foundation. And not knowing, 35 years ago that we would be still doing this. And I love it. I mean, I love doing what we do, the golf tournament, bringing people in, and they understand what it's all about.
Okay, we're talking football.
You know about football?
No, I only know what I learned from you over the years.
Oh, boy.
But tell us now one about the Bills. Are we going to the Super Bowl?
I used to be a former player, so Penny. You don't talk about Super Bowl now. We talk about the AFC East, which we did. We won that. Now you take it game by game. And as a matter of fact, this week we played the Dolphins again. So, you take it one step at a time. And I know that's the big thing for everybody. I mean, that's what you shoot for. You shoot for those championships. But the thing is, as a player, you feel, you talk, and you take it one game at a time. And we got the Dolphins this week, and I'm pumped for what we have. Just got to stay healthy.
Speaking of that, we talked about Lamar before, and you've had so many injuries also and so many health challenges. How did you feel, and were you really, really upset? And I'm sure you were seeing what happened.
You know what? I've seen injuries before, but I've never, ever, ever felt the way I did after that. It changed my whole week, and I mean, it just hit my heart, and it's like, wow. I mean, I didn't sleep that night after that happened because you pray, because I have brothers, I have family, and if that happened to your family, how would you feel? And now I remember, when I would get hurt, how my brothers would feel. I know what my mom and dad felt, and I know what my mother felt like every single game that I played. And the thing is, I just, pray not only for DeMar, and thank God he's getting better, but his parents and his family. Right now, that's the most important thing, them coming together and being a difference maker like DeMar has done. I mean, imagine, your goal is $2,500 and you're over $8 million. Oh my word, that is amazing. But it just goes to show, not just the Bills Mafia and not just this community, but everyone across the United States, how they pull for people, and it's just an amazing story.
And tell us about your own health. We've been so concerned over the years, and we've been friends all this time, and I've been through a lot of times when you weren't doing well, and to see you right now is very, very encouraging.
Well, you know what? I feel good. Thank God for that. I mean, the power of prayer is real, and I understand that, and I've known that for a long time, and I just hope everybody understands that God's in control of all of our destinies. And you know what? I might have lost 4 Super Bowls, but I kicked cancer's butt 4 times. So I thank God every day that I'm still here and able to do this. We're celebrating 35 years of Kelly for Kids, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hopefully get to 40, 45, but we'll take it one year at a time.
Melissa, Hunter's Hope has been a very important organization to Jim and Jill for many years. Maybe you could just tell us a little bit about their mission.
Yes, their mission is to provide support and hope to families affected by leukodystrophy, like their son Hunter. So we have several programs that help these families and support them through a very difficult journey. Because when Hunter was diagnosed, there wasn't any support or research or even knowledge from doctors available for these families, and that is why Hunter's Hope was created, so that families didn't have to kind of walk around in the dark and find out what they could do for their child. I think one of our biggest initiatives is newborn screening. So for Krabbe disease, if it is caught at birth, we can treat for it. There is a treatment for Krabbe disease. So it's imperative that these children are tested when they are born. So that has been a big initiative of ours since almost the beginning. So next month, actually, we find out if we were added to the federal RUSP, the newborn screening panel. So that's exciting. And then we have our Leukodystrophy Care Network, which has grown. That is a network of doctors and experts around the country who can help these children, and they know what these children need and can provide them with the quality of life they deserve.
Former Buffalo Bills player Ed Rakowski has been a member of the board of Kelly for Kids for I don't know how many years, and has made such a difference. How important Kelly for Kids and this group has been to you and to the community over the last 35 years.
It has been, and I'm a good friend of Jim, and I've been on this board for something like 30 years, and Jim and I, the community has given so much to us when we played for the Buffalo Bill. So this is our way of giving back to the community. It's a great organization. I commend Jim for his tireless efforts on behalf of Kelly for Kids, and he's a super individual, and I just love the guy.
We have an opportunity to talk to one of the recipients of the Kelly for Kids grants, not only this year, but several years in a row. He's Joe DeMarco, and Joe DeMarco is the Executive Director of Wings Flights of Hope. And we want to, first of all, find out what does your organization do?
Yeah, Wings provides free flights for patients and their families who need to travel for their medical care. We have great hospitals here in Buffalo, but the reality is there's a hospital that can specialize in everything. So whatever it might be, cancer. Yesterday we took a little girl with a rare genetic disorder, and they're doing some clinical trials down at Philadelphia Children's. So we're there for them, as many flights they need as much as they need. And the best part, it's all free, and it's all done with volunteer pilots. So a donation like this means so much to Wings Flights of Hope. This will sponsor about 20 Flights of Hope.
And how long have you been in business?
Yeah, we've been doing this for 18 years. Personally, I'm coming up on 6,000 flights. Today, I'm actually going to leave the luncheon early, so I'm happy to have this opportunity to talk to you because I wouldn't be able to speak. Actually, I have 11:30 to 11:45 wheels up, so this is great to have the opportunity so people can learn about us. We're airplanes. Our flights are free. We don't have medical staff, so a lot of people with cancer, probably 80% of our flights are people fighting cancer. And Michael right now is in our commercial. Michael had 12 months to live 3 years ago, and the great news, he just had his 18-month checkup and he's cancer-free. Something else that's very important is we flew Jim Kelly, and Jim Kelly raised a lot of awareness. People thought we fly people can't afford it. It has nothing to do with what you have. If you're sick, Jim needed to go, and obviously he could afford a flight, but he couldn't get on a regular plane. And so many people called right away when that news covered Jim Kelly's flight. One of them was Tim Day, a Tonawanda policeman who was able to get a heart transplant in Boston. His wife followed us on Facebook but thought she didn't qualify because, he was a policeman. So it was Tim for a year, got to live at home. If you need a heart in Boston, Mass, you have to move there. That's how it works. Because you have 3 hours to be on the table. It's not physically possible to get there. So the Buffalo News did a beautiful story. It said Wings was only a heartbeat away, telling the story. You got to be at home for a year instead of being away from his wife and teenage kids.
I think that of all the organizations, I have been so impressed over the years with the Teacher's Desk because there is nothing more important, as we know, than supporting teachers in their mission of trying to educate our young people.
And it's so important, too, because now with inflation and with rising costs, these poor kids don't have the resources they need. They come to school, they don't have a backpack, they don't have pens, they don't have notebooks. So we are able to get them into their hands, which is so, thank you for your support.
And tell us how it works. Do you contact the teachers in the schools, or do they contact you?
It's a little bit of both, but there's 250 schools that use our services. We now have an online system where they can go and order whatever they need. We'll bag it up and bring it to them curbside. So in our warehouse, we have tons of stuff. So we encourage people to come by and look and see all of the resources we have.
James McNeil with the Salvation Army is going to be one of the recipients of a grant from Kelly for Kids. What does it mean to the program, and what are you going to be doing with the grant, James?
Well, first, I just would like to thank the Kelly for Kids Foundation for giving us the opportunity to give back to the kids in our community. But one of the things that we'll be doing with the funding for the program is we will be able to serve more kids in our community. My position as the Salvation Army Youth Director, I'm responsible for kids 5 to 19 years old. So we try to establish programming that fits every age group. So with this funding, we'll be able to get, athletic trainers, tutors, because we try to teach and train the entire child, and that's education, sports, and also just being able to socialize with their friends. So we just want to give opportunities and expose the kids to as many positive things as we can with this funding.
Phil, as far as the American Society for Suicide Prevention goes, I think it's something people are not aware of, that we would consider a grant for a suicide prevention group as part of, what we're doing for Kelly for Kids is doing for young people. How does it coordinate?
Well, as a national organization, we have a lot of local chapters. The Western New York chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention does a lot of programming for kids and teenagers. I lost my son about 13 years ago to suicide. And so I founded the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and became a board member. And we request a grant from the Kelly for Kids Foundation to help fund these school programs. We have programs for actually starting at middle school. So middle school, high school, college age, and whatever, to do whatever we can for mental health education and suicide prevention aspect within the school systems and within our communities, right? And that's how we use the money.
Mary Fiona from Buffalo Cares, which we are very interested in because we're not familiar with the group, but Kelly for Kids is very happy that we can provide a little funding for you for a very important mission.
We are so grateful for this grant, and what we plan on doing with this money is we've always wanted to have something where people can sort of come and shop for free. Not gently used clothes, brand new clothing. So we met with Sister Mary Jonas at Response to Love Center, and we opened a store in her facility, and it's named after our dad. It's called A Room for Phil's Friends. And we filled it with beautiful coats and pajamas and all kinds of clothing and shoes and socks. And families can come in and they can shop at absolutely no charge. It's all brand new items. And not only can they shop and get these wonderful items, but they can hold on to their dignity. They can do it together as a family. They can pick out what their child wants, what their child would love. And it's all at no cost. And so this money will go a long ways to helping us fill that room.
Thanks, Jim, and the entire Kelly for Kids Foundation team for what you do. If you would like to help, go to their website, kellyforkids.com. We'll be right back.